I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Zee Garcia.
Today we're taking a look at something that is both old and new. By old, I mean we're taking a look at Fauna, the animal trivia game. This is from Friedman Freeze and was printed not quite 20 years ago, but it's been a bit.
It's old.
But what's new is this game is from Rathskellers, who is a table-making company.
That's new.
It is new. So I was kind of curious about that because they make really good quality tables.
They do,
Do they make
much.
good quality board games? Well, spoiler alert, yes.
Okay.
And
Never mind. The tension is all gone.
yeah. Also, we've already played this game and enjoyed it, so there's not a lot of tension there either.
Right, fair.
But if you've never played this before, the word trivia might scare you off. Don't let it. Let me show you, and we'll be right back. In this game, you have a map of the world broken up into regions. There's two sides. The one side has metric measurements. The other has the imperial measurements on it at the bottom. That's the only difference. And the board is broken up into different regions. So you can see here's Brazil, Amazon Basin, and also different oceanic regions. And what players are going to be doing is they're going to each get a pile of cubes, 7 cubes of their color, and you're going to have a bunch of animals. And there's a ton of animals in this game. There's enough that go in this box, and they're double-sided. There's different animals on each side. You have the exotic animal on one side and the basic animal on the other side. And so you have enough to fill this container twice. But what you're going to do is you're going to show everybody the animal here. So here we have a marabou stork. It's in 11 areas on the board, and we're also looking for its weight and its height. And then starting with the first player and going around the table, you can drop a cube in an area on the board that no one else has gone in yet. So as people are dropping these on the board, or you can guess at its weight. So I might say, this thing probably weighs between 4 and 10 pounds. And this person says, well, the height of this is probably between 1 and 1.5 feet. And so you're just going to keep doing that until everyone passes, or you keep going. Once you've passed, the card is then revealed, and it will show you all the areas that it's in. Now, you know it's in 11 areas. What are the areas that it's in? If you guessed exactly right, so let's say, for example, I had guessed that it was here in Upper Guyana. Well, then I'm going to get points. How do you get points? Well, that's what this chart over here is for. Then there's 11 areas, so we'll look at this 9 to 16. If I got it correct, it's 4 points. If I'm next to a correct spot, adjacent to a spot, I'll get 1 point. Now, if there's only one spot on the board, some animals are only in one spot. Like this Mongolian gerbil is only in, Mongolia area, the Gobi Desert. And if you got that correct, you get 12 points. And if you're adjacent, you get 8 points. So you'll score all those. And the game comes with black cubes that you can put on spots to show which spots score. You'll also then look at the weight and length. And if you get that correct, so in this case, the marabou stork weighs between 13.2 to 19.8 pounds. So I was off, but I was adjacent, so I'm going to get 3 points. And then the height of it was 4.5 to 4.9. I wasn't even close. I needed to have this one here, so I get no points. All the cubes that you got incorrect go away. You will go back. You'll get an extra cube back every turn. And you always have at least 3 to start out with. So you can make up to 7 guesses on a turn, but a lot of wrong ones you might not get back. You'll get back your correct ones. But you always have at least 3 that you can place out. You'll keep going until one person gets to a certain amount of points, which changes based on the game. So in a 2 to 3 player game, it's 120 points. 6 players, someone gets to 80 points. And that triggers the end of the game, and whoever has the most points is the winner. I should also mention the game comes with a big animal book that tells you about all the animals that are in the game. And like I said, these are all the cards that I have, and then there's this many more, and they're all double-sided. Now, the reason trivia shouldn't scare you off, because in this game you don't need to know the answers, you just kind of guess.
Or even just kind of figure out who you think might know.
Right.
And then if they go somewhere you weren't even thinking of in the world or on the size or length scale and be like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll go right next to you. Yeah, it's one of those games where you're just sort of shooting a dart at a board and hoping you're kind of right.
Yeah, it's pretty funny because sometimes even the name of the animal, just making something up, there's a Pennsylvania bat. Oh, it's from South America. You never know.
Right.
And sometimes they're in a ton of areas, so that matters too. If you're in a ton of areas, you put things out. And the game has a nice ebb and flow with the cubes, where you have 7 cubes, and if there's a lot of areas, you're like, I'm going to put cubes everywhere. But if you're wrong, then you go down to 3 cubes, which is a bit hampering sometimes.
Sure.
And then also you can guess the area, you can guess the length and weight and height and stuff. You can say, well, that looks like it's a pretty hefty animal or small one. So again, it's guesstimating, but you would be surprised. I don't think the person who knows the best at animal trivia will win. If someone is a brilliant zoologist or goes to the zoo and reads all the plaques, they might win.
Sure.
But they're the only ones.
Right. This is, plus the amount of animals in here I thought was very impressive.
360.
There's a lot of content in here. You're going to go through just a handful of them. I mean,
Maybe like 8, 9.
Yeah, every game. So this will give you, if you and the family or the friends enjoy it, you can keep coming back to the well here for a long, long time. Now, I will say I have some issues with the game, with the gameplay itself. This production is excellent, and they did a good job basically reprinting what was there before. But the game can bog down a little bit when you have one of those animals that's in like 22 areas in the world, and so when it comes time to do the reckoning, it's like, okay, well, this one, and then they're alphabetical on the sheet that you have, the animal. But they don't show you where that is in the world, so you have to kind of go hunting for it a little bit.
Well, it shows you on the map.
It does show you on the map,
But, so you could go by that. It's just a little... If there's an animal in a lot of areas...
It gets a little annoying.
Down a bit.
Yeah.
Although, I guess if that really bothered you, if you see one that there's 18 areas, you could be like, skip.
I suppose that's true.
You could do that. You could just go to one that... And it would... Yeah. It wouldn't change things that much, because those don't give out a lot of points anyway.
Right. You'll get some, meager points if the animal is everywhere, because it's easy to guess.
My only quibble with the game is, near the end of the game, if you've done some big guesses and you're down to 3 cubes, you're like, okay, well, now I'm going to be more...
Surgical with it.
Surgical. But on that last turn, you just want to go for broke. And sometimes you can be like, well, even if I get it all right, I can't win.
Yes.
But I don't know that the game is about winning. You do want to win, but it's the kind of game I'm like, wow, it was fun. I had a good time. We played some animals. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It says 45 to 60 on here. That's pretty accurate.
It's a good game to have in a lot of collections, I think. Right. I think it's going to have that wide appeal. You have folks over for dinner. You want to just hang out and do something low-key. This is trivia, but again, it doesn't have that sort of intimidating, Trivial Pursuit kind of feel where they ask you a question and then stare at you. And you're like, well, I either know it or I don't know it. There's no gray. There's no middle ground. This is that middle ground. You'd be like, ooh, it sounds like somewhere in Africa. Congo. We'll see. Maybe I got close, and you'll get points for being close.
Well, you could even use some area control guessing. Like, you're like, well, that's a deer. I don't know where it is. I'm going to pick this ocean. I know the deer's not in the ocean, but this ocean is adjacent to like 7 places.
Yeah.
So I'll get some points, maybe. And I like that.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of game strategy.
Yeah.
What would you give it?
I'm coming down at a 7.5 on this one. It's a fun game. It's probably what I gave the old one, about a 7 or a 7.5. I'm glad to see it back in print. I like what they did with the production here. Like I said, a ton of replayability built right into the box. And yeah, this game is just pleasant. This is a game that might not have too many people that love it, but it's certainly going to have very few people that despise playing. You know what I mean? It's one of those, like, this is a comfortable game. You're going to have a good time with it. So for me, 7.5.
There might be some recency bias for me here because it's been a while since I played the old one, but I really like the new version. I'm giving it an 8.
Sweet.
I like this whole concept. It has some fun moments when you reveal and everyone goes, oh, man, that thing weighs that much?
Right.
There's a little bit of that, and I enjoy that moment of reveal. I also like, again, that it doesn't overstay its welcome. You see 7, 8, 9 animals, you pack it up, put it away, and you get at it again. And, I mean, honestly, that's unlimited replayability. Because once you've gone through every animal,
you'll forget.
I don't remember any of the first ones.
Absolutely.
I don't remember any of the ones we played last time.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't bother, I didn't worry about showing some in the overview because you're just going to forget for the most part. And if you don't forget, then you've learned.
Mm-hmm.
Ding! It's a winner all around. So this is Fauna, the animal trivia game. Check it out. Rascars. Good opening salvo into the board game world.
Very good, very good. I'm looking forward to what else they've got coming.
I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Zee Garcia.
We'll see you next time. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vasel.